So tonight on the podcast, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about our favorite president of the United States, Joe Biden. I know you love this conversation. Some of you who get so upset with me when we talk about this, but yet you're here listening right now because you know we're speaking the truth over here. You're just dealing with your upbringing as a black person. As we all know, we were all raised, all this including me, to be Democrats from birth. We were raised to be this way. Now, some of you say, what is his issue with the Democrats? Like, why he's so laser focused on them? It's because I'm literally watching what they're doing to my people group, right? And every person that has came in history and saw the wrong that was being done to their people, a lot of people didn't like them calling it out. Some people didn't see it sometimes until they were not here anymore, or the person just moved on to something else and they finally saw the light, right? When they stopped talking. So I'm okay with people not, not liking what I'm saying. I know I'm messing with your upbringing. I know that. And to shake you at the core of your being as a black American, I know it's hard, but I'm here for it for a time. Now, I also, before we get fully into this, a person had left a message and they said that, I really like what you're saying and you say you're humble, but, you just, the way you talk to us sometimes, more people will like you and follow you if you just talk, a little nicer. Well, let me tell you something about that because I want to respond to that. That's been your problem. And I thought about that this morning when I got out of the gym. You want people to coddle you. You want people to say, it's okay, baby. It's all right. And you know good and well you're stubborn and you're stiff-necked. I know this. You, my people, I know who you are. The only way we change a lot of times is a swift kick in the butt. That's the only way we going to change is as a community. We too stubborn for that. So since I know that, I'll do that. I'll do it verbally, of course, not physically, but verbally I will do that. And you look at most of your people who are doing something for a living, where they were activists, business people, whether they religious figures, whatever. Most people didn't like how they did things, but they got results. So we're getting results. And I know that if we weren't getting results, I wouldn't be doing this every time that you see me doing this. Now, let's get to your favorite president. So there was remember Joe Biden did an interview with Charlemagne the God back in 2020. And he talked about, the 1994 crime bill that Biden, and we covered this many, many times, that Biden not only helped author the bill, but he was very proud of this bill. But you bring that up to him today, he would act like he wasn't proud of the bill or whatever. Case in point, we're going to review that, and also his latest thing that he said about LL Cool J. That was, boy, we'll get into that as well, and also MC Lyte tonight. Yes, we're getting into her as well. So let's go ahead and cue up the video of Biden, and we got to talk about this and break this down.
I gotta ask you though, why so much resistance on admitting the crime bill and other legislation you are a part of was damaging to the black community? Because we had Hillary on a few years ago, and Ms. Clinton said that the crime bill, we made a lot of mistakes with that, and she wanted to atone for that by becoming the next president.
She was wrong. What happened was it wasn't the crime bill. It was the drug legislation. It was the institution of mandatory minimums, which I oppose. Mandatory. I oppose the ban.
I thought you was a part of that in '84 as well. The Comprehensive Crime Control Act that established mandatory minimum sentences for drug offenses.
No. What happened was what you're confusing is what happened.
When people say what happened, when you hear people say, "Oh no," what happened was usually some BS behind it. But let's continue.
The Black Caucus came to me and said, "Look, I did this study when I was chairman of the Judiciary Committee. We looked at every district of the."
If you have a piece of crack cocaine no bigger than this quarter that I'm holding in my hand, $1/4 of $1, we passed a law through the leadership of Senator Thurmond and myself and others, a law that says if you're caught with that, you go to jail for 5 years. You get no probation. You get nothing other than 5 years in jail. judge doesn't have a choice.
So as you clearly saw, that Biden was lying. But this is the question that I have. Okay, and Biden was smiling back in that time period, because I remember 1991 very, very well. Boy, there was some good years back in the 90s. Listen, a lot of y'all living today, a lot of y'all millennials and Gen Zs, y'all really missed out on a whole lot. I say between the 80s, I think the 80s and 90s was about the last good times, I really say, in America. I maybe think early 2000s, let's say up to after 2005. This place been going downhill since then. But as you heard, he wants to put people who they claim today was to have a medical issue, right, or mental illness. He wanted them in jail. He wanted where judges can have no compassion for the person at all, right? That the judge had to sentence this person who wasn't a criminal, who didn't harm anybody, who didn't do anything like that, maybe just a harm to themselves, to jail them, to make them the new slaves and ruin them even more in jail. Not treatment centers. I can understand, okay, you get a mandatory treatment center, rehab center. Okay, that's fine. You have to do mandatory rehab to get you off of this, substance that's harming you and harming the community. But no, he wanted them in jail where people that, kill people in there that's terrorists, all kind of people. That's what he wanted to put people who had a sickness. I've seen people, male and female, in my own community get on crack. See them go from great productive people to just crackheads. Horrible, horrible thing to see. They didn't harm nobody. Were they begging for $5 all the time to get some drugs? Yeah. It's sad when they get to the point they do anything for $5, $10. That part was sad. It was real sad. I mean, they do anything. You can get them to do anything. Trust me. At that time period. And seeing all that would happen in the community, the crack epidemic and all of that is what a lot of my inspiration comes from, to work hard, for my children not to see anything like that, not my children being around some pimping and some, females on the track, drug dealing, gangs. No, like I said, I will never allow my kids, with all my strength, and God help me, to see anything like that. And thank God they have not seen something like that, because I saw enough of it. But Biden, instead of trying to help people, he wanted people in jail. Now, he mentioned Senator Strom Thurmond. Strom Thurmond, who did a 24-hour filibuster of the 1957 Civil Rights Act that they was trying to pass back then. He was filibustering that long because he did not want, as a quote, black people, not to say, because, you can't say the other word on here anymore. He didn't want black people in the shops with them, and he didn't want them in the movie theaters and restaurants and anything else. Well, you look at it, 70 plus years later, and not only is black people in all these, particular places, he did not want them, but now you have literally white women morphing themselves into black women. I mean, that's just really what you see today, right? So I bet you Senator Thurmond didn't expect that to happen, right? That's way past segregation. But Biden was lying all the way around. And we have pointed a lot of this out prior to him being elected. But when Biden made that call, about voting for him, you couldn't help yourself. And if you don't remember what he said, let me cue it up on the soundboard.
You have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
And a lot of you who are listening were black. And I know you realize, some of you have realized that I made a major mistake by voting for this guy. And I'm going to turn it around and do something different, right? Either I'm a protest vote for the side, or I'm not voting for nobody. Either or, I said that's my statement. I don't care who you vote for. Just don't give it for Democrats. I don't care if you vote Green Party. I don't care if you vote Libertarian. I don't care who you vote for. Hell, you could write somebody in if all I care. Go ahead. Just don't give it to Biden and them, because they don't deserve black people's vote. I'm clear on that. Vote who you want for. Just don't fool the Democrats, because they have been detrimental to our people. A lot of our people today is still in prison today. They should be let out, record clean, should be given a reparations for that. Help, all this help they're doing for illegal immigrants, well, it's a lot of them legal now, and yet they can't help nobody they mass incarcerated in this country. But let's continue.
The institution of mandatory minimums, which I oppose.
They have got to keep every prisoner in jail like we do federally 85% of the time for which they're sentenced. Right now, they're only kept in jail in the states on average 41% of the time. I like the idea they keep in jail longer. I'm the guy that wrote the bill requiring federal judges to keep people in jail 100% of the time for which they're sentenced, and the notable exceptions only 85%. So I'm all for tougher enforcement.
As you heard Biden in 1995, he was proud of that bill that mass incarcerated black people. They targeted black people with this bill with the help of the Congressional Black Caucus. Because what Biden said about the Black Caucus, he's right. He was not lying about that. The Congressional Black Caucus did go along with the 1994 crime bill. They didn't stand against it. Not only the Black Caucus, but your black preachers went along with the 1994 crime bill too. So you can't just say Biden. This is why I tell you that when it comes to these politicians, we really need to start within the black community first. We're going after the black Democrats because they have sold us down the river. No other group has came up and advocated for their people to be mass incarcerated for anything. Let's call it what it is. Where's the Asian community advocating that all their people who's participating in the massage parlor, human trafficking that they're doing? It is a crime syndicate. Yet where are they advocating for their people to be locked up for human trafficking? Matter of fact, the Asian caucus says nothing about the human trafficking in their community. Seriously, if I would go with my camera with Brother Sharif, and y'all would be freaked out how on every freaking corner you got that mess going on. And the police know, the FBI know, Homeland Security know. They raid a couple of them. They arrest some of them. It shuts down. They pop right back up tomorrow. But the Asian caucus isn't out here talking about, hey, Biden, we need a human trafficking bill because we need to lock up our own people. No, they mess quiet because in their homeland, tricking is legal in a lot of places in their homeland. It's just part of life, the tricking. So they bring the tricking over here to the United States of America. You have to understand where these people, a lot of these people, where they come from in their homeland, a lot of places tricking is what they do. But yet, let a black woman out here trick. She getting locked up. But they can trick all day long. But the Asian caucus has never advocated for their people to be locked up. The Hispanic caucus has never advocated for their people to be locked up. There are actually Hispanics that take advantage of other Hispanics who come over and have an illegal status. They do just like the white people. They make them work. They don't want to pay them. They threaten them with ICE, just like the white folks. They do that to their own people. But you don't hear the Hispanic caucus talking about, hey, we need to go after people doing that. They're taking advantage of immigrants. No, they don't say anything. But only our caucus, the black caucus. And now we know, because at the time we wasn't looking at where people come from. We weren't looking at loyalties. We weren't looking at any of that. Because, you know, we had the mindset, hey, we all black. We need to stick together. But as we've seen that people who wasn't from the soil had different mindsets about black Americans, we just didn't know. So really the conversation about delineation, we were late to the party because everybody else came through the door delineating. You understand what I'm saying? The majority of the black world delineates. And now when black America start delineating, everybody want to crawl foul about it or call it xenophobia, but everybody else is doing it first. Right? So Biden and them, notice he's never advocated for a crime bill for meth or heroin or fentanyl. Where's the crime bill for that? Where is it? You know why he's not advocating for a crime bill for that? Because a lot of his people are on that. And that's taking his people out left and right because he wants to try to not put his mass incarcerate his people. Actually, he will save his people by mass incarcerating them at this point because so many of them are dying daily, dying wholesale with this fentanyl. And, you know, a lot of it is coming from Mexico, China. They're attacking the United States without even firing a shot with these drugs. But they don't say nothing about that. But let a brother have any little thing in his pocket, he going to jail for 30 years. Now, on top of all of that, he don't criminalize his community. We know Biden, as you heard, Biden has been a stone cold white supremacist. That's nothing new. Hanging out with Strom Thurmond, he has been a racist. He was considered the Dixiecrat back in the 1940s. And we know the Dixiecrats is the original party. The Democrat Party is the party of the Klan. Everybody that know American history knows that. And they don't want to act like they're not the party of, they was never the party of the Klan. Now, on top of that, we know Biden always had some white supremacist tendencies. Well, you may say, well, he picked Kamala. Well, let me tell you something about that. Y'all don't understand how white supremacy work. And a lot of you don't understand how white supremacist males work. They're not threatened by a black female, and definitely not threatened by a woman who's unsure who she is. 1 minute Kamala says she's Jamaican. 1 minute she says she's black. The next minute she says she's Indian. That woman don't know what she want to be. I always say pick a side. That way at least stand on it, right? Another time she calls herself an Asian, so he ain't got nothing to worry about with her advocating for black people. But they would never really want to be around black men, because black men is the one they can't stand, right? And they're in competition with black men. And those same kind of men will lay up with a black woman, have a whole kid. Senator Strom Thurmond, that he never claimed he was a deadbeat daddy. He was a racist and laid up with a black woman, made a whole child. The black woman actually was his housekeeper that cleaned the house. He laid up, had a whole baby with this black woman, and he never took care of his kid, never did whatever. He hid this kid for a long time. It was a girl. Strom Thurmond, the same one that Biden was talking about, his buddy, Senator Thurmond. So this is who Biden was rolling with, y'all. But y'all had to get Trump out? Okay, fine. And let's call it what it is. Show me the legislation that Trump passed that wholesale locked us up. Show it to me. Hey, let me know what it is. I'll cover it. No problem. But you're not going to find it because he didn't do that. You got more vitriol toward Trump than this dude that was relishing in locking black people up. He said crack, and black people was on that. He said, I wrote the bill. I want him in there 100% of the time. I don't want the judge to have no leeway or sympathy for you. He got to put you in jail, period. Another clip, he said that they may have issues, but they let them fix themselves in jail, away from my family. Biden was saying all this. But this is the guy that y'all ran to vote for. Because Uncle Ruckus Clyburn told y'all to go vote for him. And yeah, for some reason, I don't understand why he got any stroke, because he ain't crap to me. I wouldn't listen to a man like that. It's something I really want to say. Should I go there? I don't trust a man that don't know what he want to do with his hair. In other words, I know some people going to probably get offended when I'm saying, I don't care. That's just my opinion. I don't trust a guy like, okay, if I'm losing my hair, I'm going to make a decision. Either I'm going to cut it all off, or I'm going to get the hair transplant surgery and keep go ahead and keep it and grow it back, right? They doing it all over the place. Clyburn can afford the hair transplant surgery, right? And he won't go do it. Listen, if you're losing your hair and you don't want to do it, man, the Michael Jordan and them made bald heads popular back in the day. It's still popular now. Make your choice. I know some people may get mad, but it is what it is. I don't trust a guy like that, especially in leadership. Make a decision. But Clyburn said all this, and y'all jumped on it, right? Okay, fine. Now let's fast forward. He is the president. Talking about 50 years of hip hop. Okay, no problem. Well, when you are a white supremacist that always was relishing in locking up black people and talking about you wrote the bill and all of that, well, you can't hide that forever. Case in point, this video talking about with the Congressional Black Caucus now that he's going to say this. Go ahead, watch this.
Great artist of our time representing the groundbreaking legacy of hip-hop in America, LL Cool J.
Oh, my Lord. Why? And black folks are laughing at that.
By the way, that man's got biceps bigger than my thighs. I think he's been. And MC Lyte, both of you, thank you.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you heard correctly. Biden called him a boy. And we know, especially you from the South, we know about the terminology of boy. Racists call black men boys, and they call black children, definitely the black children, men. They call them men because they feel good at harming or taking out a black child. They call a black man a boy because to disrespect them and treat them like an invalid and everything else that they do in society. And also, you know, they want to take us out. Hey, I took out this boy. You understand what I'm saying? Boy is a white supremacist word when it comes out of the mouth of them. Anybody else that uses the word boy, it doesn't sting or have the history that it do with the white supremacists. So for him to initially say boy, and you know, the shield's gonna say, oh, he just made a mistake. That's why he said man. And he realized, oh shoot, let me say man, because I don't really want to have no issues and problems, right? Talking about the man's muscles. You're supposed to talk about music. Why are you sitting up there looking at the man's muscles for? I don't think about LL Cool J's muscles or anything else. When I think about LL Cool J, I think about his music. That's it. You know, but whatever. So a lot of people jumped on Biden with that. But like I said, it doesn't surprise me because as you get older, you just don't really hold back as much anymore. It's kind of hard to fake some things. And then, of course, you know, his situation, he don't know if he's coming or going half of the time. So, you know, he's going to let it hang all out. But toward the end, he mentioned MC Lyte. Now, MC Lyte, I definitely remember her, you know, from back in the day. She's definitely one of the legends of hip hop. But MC Lyte, instead of her just going to the event, no, MC Lyte makes a tragic mistake. Now, what is the tragic mistake MC Lyte has made, ladies and gentlemen? She decides to start shilling for Biden. Let's put this up. See, this is MC Lyte's page. What a fantastic article by Hollywood Unlocked by Blue, whoever that person named. Highly informative and easily digestible. Now, this right here is some shilling. Now, before I even get into this, she cut the comments off, y'all. I saw this last night. Sister Demetria had showed me this post. Shout out to Sister Demetria. And they were flaming her. Oh, y'all think I'll be talking? Man, black people was going in on her, telling her this is not it. What are you doing? Democrats don't do nothing for black people. That was like the overall theme. Everybody kept saying is that the Democrats don't do nothing for black people. You know, are you selling out? Come on, MC Lyte, you better than this. I mean, yeah, people went in on her for this. I mean, a major backlash, and she turned the comments off. So this is what she's posting on her page. She's risking her legacy. That people respect her in the community. Let me tell y'all something. A lot of you rappers, R&B singers, etc. Don't throw away your legacy for Biden or the Democrats, okay? Them people got money. They're going to go to Martha's Vineyard and chill. They're going to go to wherever they go to have a good time, right? Live their life. They're not going to worry about you. When you just still depend on shows, some of you, right? And people don't want to mess with you no more, Biden not going to give you a dime. So when it comes to serving the black community specifically, look at the word specifically. Since being in office, the Biden-Harris administration has invested over $7 billion in America's HBCUs. And none of the books are audited by those HBCUs. Deion Sanders, one of the reasons why he left Jackson State is because they were stealing the ticket money. They was finessing. All them billions that so-called Biden them gave, people were stealing. That's why the facilities wasn't upgraded. That's why our black kids don't have the same things like the PWIs, because people are stealing. And the majority of black America don't go to the HBCUs. So how are you doing something for black America? You're doing that for a specific group of black people. Gotten black unemployment down to near record lows. Most black people say that's a lie. Reduced the black child poverty rate by more than 12%. No, you didn't. Created more than 13.4 million jobs in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. You didn't do anything like that for black people specifically. Reverse decades of infrastructure divestment in communities of color. Communities of color doesn't mean black people. Communities of color could be Hispanic, Asian, East Indian. It could be Arab. It could be a whole lot of other people. So you mentioned black people at the top, but then you go into color or communities of color, including investing $4 billion to reconnect communities to economic opportunities. What are these economic opportunities that you did this for? Remember, you said you did this specifically for black people, but you already gave the finesse there, communities of color. Increase black enrollment in healthcare.gov, coverage by a whopping 49% from 2020 to 2022. There's a tax penalty. Well, last time it was a tax penalty. I don't know. I think that went away. But anyway, some people had no choice, and healthcare.gov is too expensive for a lot of people. Made maternal mortality, which affects black mothers 3 times more than anyone else, a national priority, including expanding postpartum coverage through Medicaid from 2 months to 12 months and increasing coverage from 3 states to 35 states. You did not do anything for black women in maternal mortality because the problem isn't postpartum coverage through Medicaid. It is not about anything with the states. It's about your racist Medicare system, what has always taught doctors that black people don't feel pain like white people do. When black people say they're in pain, they are ignored, okay? There's racists in every part of the country. So when black women are having a baby, the racists want to cut on black women so quick because they don't respect black women. They want to get money out of the insurance. That's why they want to do a C-section so fast instead of natural birth. It's been proven that black women, black people have a higher rate of health care. They're treated better, everything, when they have a black doctor, okay? When you have a doctor who is not black, especially a Caucasian, you start running into these issues and problems, okay? Now, that way you can address maternal mortality, but y'all not doing that, so stop lying. Expanded access to capital for minority-owned small businesses. Minority could mean white women. Minority could mean LGBT who are white. It could mean white disabled. It could mean white person with a handicap. It can mean that. Then it can mean Asian. It can mean Hispanic. It could mean East Indian. It could mean Arab, Native American. So you start at the top, say black, but then you use the communities of color, and you're using the term minority-owned small businesses with over $12 billion. And the way it works when it's called minority-owned small businesses or communities of color, everybody else, all the other colors and all the people, whites get it first, you know, the white women, white LGBT, etc. Then usually in the racial hierarchy, it's Asians after that. And then, you know, all the other groups, we at the bottom, Hispanics probably a little bit above us. And, you know, I'll say a straight heterosexual black person, you're at definitely the bottom. The black LGBT is going to be above us, that who are heterosexuals. Let's call it what it is. That's their system, right? But even the black LGBT, you're not giving nothing to them either. So let's call that what it is. So stop lying. MC Lyte, you put this out and took a huge risk at losing your fans for something that's just not true. None of this is true whatsoever. This is propaganda. No black person seen Biden and Harris do a freaking thing for black people. The whole time they've been in office, they ain't been talking to black people. But when it's time to get out there and vote, let's go ahead on and pander. Biden and Harris going to have to try a little bit harder. See, if Biden and Harris, if you really want to get black people to vote for you, and even get me to even say, you know what, maybe I can try to support Biden. Reparations in the form of cash payments. That's the only thing you can do at this point. It's nothing else you can do. And you have to do it before the election, not after, because we don't trust you. You understand? All that, well, just get me in and we'll do it. No. Your word is supposed to be your bond. If you would have fought to do things for black people and we saw you fought to do it and you actually made sure it happened, then we could say, okay, yeah. Biden deserves another 4 years because we did see him do what's up and he didn't take no for an answer. You know what I'm saying? But no, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that about no Tim Scott, because they always, now they keep bringing up Tim Scott. Well, we was going to do the George Floyd bill, but Tim Scott is the one. No. Y'all walked away from the table because you didn't like the discussion about qualified immunity. Y'all should have hashed that out. You don't walk away from the table if you know it's this important to the community. And if Tim Scott was really the problem, then you bring it to the people nationally and say, look, this is what we want. Y'all need to press Tim Scott in them and tell them, hey, what the hell is going on? This is what we got to have. They didn't do that. They left it alone and they walked away from the table. So you can't just say Tim Scott, Senator Cory Booker, and now Mayor Karen Bass. You can't say him. It's you. You walked away from the table. You threw your hands up and said, I don't want to do it no more. That's not the way you do negotiations or anything. You just walk away and say, I'm not going to do it, especially when it's something that important that black people wanted y'all to do. That was the time for Democrats to show black people that you were about the business. But what did y'all do when y'all got in office? Immediately started criminalizing black people, saying that we was attacking Asians all day long. Like, black folks, that's all we got to do is go look for an Asian and go swing on them. Asians been in our neighborhoods forever. If Asians were so afraid, they wouldn't be there. You know what I'm saying? They still in the black neighborhood. They make their bag off of black people. And then the moment Biden and them signs this hate crime legislation to protect them, all of a sudden CNN stop playing that footage of these guys in pink hoodies and red hoodies, all of them wearing the same color, attacking an Asian person. And always in certain cities, New York, San Francisco, you know, never all over the country. And then the moment they got it signed, it's like them attacks mysteriously went away. Then when you got the real information, it showed the white supremacists was attacking Asians more than any other group. Remember the white supremacists that went into their massage parlor, right? And they was doing something, tricking and all that in there, and he was talking about it. How he had addiction to the tricking that go on in there, and he went in there and ad the place out. But nobody was talking about that at all. But CNN was running in the loop. Some mentally ill, homeless black person doing something to an Asian person. Or they were saying a hate crime was even saying something derogatory to an Asian person. Listen, I don't agree with being derogatory toward any people, no matter who you are. Respect all people. But we do have freedom of speech. Even speech you don't like. We do have that here. So, but yeah, you were criminalized for even saying something to them. That's how the Democrats get down. And yet, look at it today. Where is the outreach for the Asian community? Where are them telling the Asians to come out and vote? Because they have a right to tell the Asian community, come out and vote for us because we protected you. They never do it. And that's why black people need to be offended. We go vote as a collective of people and everybody else benefits. The Asians, people, Ukrainians who's not even citizens. And do you know that not only are they giving them money for war, they giving them money to produce their small businesses. They giving them money to farm. But you got black farmers right in America can't get anything. No money for black farmers. But boy, them Ukrainians got some farms. But you know what? Ukrainians are white folks. So he has no problem taking care of his own people. Let's call it what it is. So our black farmers can't get anything, but Ukrainians could take the same tax dollars that should be going to the black farmer in this country, and yet the Ukrainians are getting it. You know what I'm saying? All that's a big finesse of the Ukraine thing. I know it is. I smell the rat. Because a lot of these politicians are tied in a lot of these European countries. They got little secret accounts over there, little secret shadow businesses over there, and they getting papered up. Because where's the audit of all that money that's going to Zelensky? Every time I look up, that fool coming over to this country with his hand out talking about he needs some money. And this government is just giving out the money. But black folks talk about reparations in the form of cash payments. Oh, we can't pay that. But yeah, you paying Ukraine? See, that's why the Democrats can't tell nothing to black folk. That's why. We see what you're doing. See, at one point in time, back in the 90s and 80s, we didn't have the internet like that. So we couldn't look at what you're doing like that. We didn't have the apps. We didn't have the smartphones back then. So y'all got away with a lot of dirt. You can't get away with the dirt like today because we see things in real time now. And I know you hate it, yeah, especially some old school politicians probably talk about, I remember back in the day we can write a bill and nobody will know about it till 20 years later, or it has to go to a library to go read it. Now they see what we put in there and now we can't pass certain bills doggone right. It is called the age of knowledge. That was predicted in the scriptures. We are living in the age of knowledge. AI and all other things is coming up. People are going to get smarter and faster than what you ever thought. And I'm here for it, and I love it, and I want to stay on top of the curve when it comes to technology. But, ladies and gentlemen, this is your man Biden. But I'm wrong to some people to say this, or I'm trying to propagandize. See, when you propagandize, you're lying. I show you things that you could see. You can go research yourself. You can go look up the C-SPAN clips. That's not me. I didn't manipulate his voice. I didn't do anything. You can see everything I'm talking about. You can research it yourself. Research it. See what he actually done to black folk. And then you'll understand why I'm so laser focused on giving information and giving a swift kick in the butt to my community when it comes to this Democrat Party and its current, what Biden has done. I'm doing my part in that. That way, if you go back again and you go vote for him, then I could come back and say, because I will come back and talk about it, well, don't complain about it because you wanted that. That's what you're looking for. A lot of black people complaining about the immigrants, the ones that just got made legal, and some who are still illegal. You're complaining they're being dropped off in your neighborhoods and all of that. Well, that's what you voted for. And we're going to keep covering it because we want to wake people up. That's why. To what's really going on and the racism Biden has. Because do you know that Biden has been hell-bent on deporting Haitians? Oh, yes. And we're going to talk about that tomorrow. How Biden has been getting the Haitians out of here in record numbers. He's been getting them out. While he let everyone else in who isn't black, especially the Haitians, he don't let them in. And the ones who are African, maybe they can stay a little while longer than maybe than the Haitians. But, they're getting the Africans out, too, because many of them they deporting right back to the continent. This man is a freaking racist. But just because he got a D in front of his name, a lot of you black people don't want to acknowledge his racism. That's why I don't understand you. Why you accept the racism of a Democrat, but you hell and high water about a racism from Republicans? Shouldn't you act that way no matter what political party they come from? But let me know what y'all think about this Biden here, and like I said, we just doing this just to inform you, so you can make an informed decision in 2024.